Hello and welcome to the Climbing Daily Wednesday news show. Today we have 3 terrifying trad climbs
and a teaser for a new EpicTV movie that's all about the grid.
It's amazing. Good morning, T. How you doing?
Good morning. Good. But the news is terrifying this week.
Yes, it is scary. We've got multiple E10, E11 sends. So let's get cracking. And Dave MacLeod, well, he's been at it again. Lexicon recently became one of the UK's hardest trad climbs. First put up by Neil Gresham and then repeated by Steve McClure, now Dave MacLeod has added his name to the list of ascensionists. The route is graded E11 7A, although Dave is describing it as French 8B plus R. There is a 25-metre potential fall from the final 7C boulder crux. The fall warrants the R. Any further or a more dangerous a fall, it would have been X. Dave is one of the best all-round climbers in the world, operating at the highest levels across all climbing disciplines.
Hey folks, love your show. I've just got home a moment ago from the Lake District where I repeated Neil Gresham's route Lexicon, which is graded E11. I know that the English trad grading system is a little bit tricky to understand if you're not familiar with trad, but basically that E grade is a combination of the physical difficulty and the potential danger of the route. It's only dangerous if you fall off, of course, but this route breaks down as about 8B plus, on lovely rock, sort of steep power endurance, crimpy climbing, with a big run out. But at the very end of the run out, on the last move, if you fell off there, which is where you're going to fall off, there's a possibility that you could hit the ground from 25 metres. So it is a little bit serious. So although it's theoretically possible that someone climbing 8B plus could just do that route, it really makes sense to be climbing quite a lot harder than that. I felt that in order to be able to do it safely and have enough of a margin to be at least fairly sure that I wasn't going to fall off, I needed to be in at least 9A fitness in order to do that. But thankfully I didn't fall off.
How does a 25-metre fall not result in death?
Very good question, T, because it is an absolute monster. I don't know if you've seen the Steve McClure video where he takes that whipper. Terrifying to watch. The simple answer is it depends on the fall, because if you're falling a long way and the swing is nasty and you're hitting the rock at a funny angle, or if there's something to hit, it's obviously more of a problem. But with that fall, it does fall into space. However, when Steve took that fall, he had practiced it. He'd done practice falls from lower down, and he went a bit higher when he was actually trying it and then took the fall. So that must have been a terrifying moment for him.
Was that fall necessary to take?
Look, I would imagine that they'd all like to avoid the fall if possible. Look, even a safe 25-metre fall. Can you imagine the stomach feeling?
It's a lot. What's 25 meters? 4 stories?
I don't know. It's many boats stacked on top of each other. But look, incredible route. It's got the R rating instead of the X rating, so it is survivable. But yeah, Lexicon gets another ascent. Awesome news. Nice one, Dave.
I have more trad route, and the protection on this route is only with skyhooks. So yes, more terrifying news. As reported on UKC, Franco Cookson climbed another big and bold trad route, Hold Fast, Hold True, an E10 7A. The 20-meter vertical climb can only be protected with skyhooks. Jules Lines, who made the first ascent of this route, also free-soloed it, but according to Franco, the hooks are fairly good at mid-height, so I thought it would be more sensible to place them, especially as it's quite a restful position there.
Would you rather free solo a route or trust dodgy gear?
Free solo it. Because then you have to take the time to place that set gear that's a bit dodgy already. But if it does describe it as good, it probably means it does hook onto something.
But psychologically, if you look down and you see your rope running through something, even if it's rubbish, would you give a bit more confidence? I think I'd feel better.
I feel that Franco did it the right way. He placed the gear and he had crash pads. So if anything would have gone wrong, he's like double protected.
Yes, broken legs instead of broken brain, maybe.
Ankles.
A
toe.
There we go. I like the fact that Franco, since he climbed that 9A recently, the sport route, the meltdown, everyone's taking him way more seriously, which is fantastic because he's my favourite climber, I think. One of.
But about this route, there's also many people have taken ground falls, so that's why the crash pads were there. I think it's an accepted, very dangerous route.
Absolutely, I agree. Well, I've got another really dangerous route with more E10 news. As reported by Planet Mountain, French climber Simon Welfringer has repeated France's hardest trad climb, Le Voyage E10. It's graded E10 7A, and the conversion to French sport being roundabout 8B+. He spent time sessioning the route and working out the micro beta, the small sandy footholds needing precision. He managed to top rope it clean, but placing the gear is a whole different challenge. He dug deep and reached the top of this scary and technical climb.
How many times do you need to top rope a route before going for the head point?
It's a good question. And look, head pointing is sometimes controversial. However, my opinion is that everyone should do it if it's at your limit. Like, honestly, trad is scary and it can be dangerous. And I think if you're pushing your comfort zone, then practice it first. But I know that is a controversial opinion. It's interesting. In the article on Planet Mountain, he was saying that once he'd done it on top rope, he kind of thought he was ready for it, got on it, and then found the body positions, the tension required to place that gear really difficult. And it took him quite a long time of working it and trying it to actually nail it down.
So top roping doesn't actually 100% help.
I think it gets you the moves, right? You can do the moves, but then, we've all been on the sharp end. It's that moment when the fear starts, the flutter in your heart. So for me, the sharp end is a different kettle of fish to top roping always, but it's certainly a good tool.
That's why I don't trad climb. But moving on to safer news, I'm going on to the 9A roundup. Lucien Martinez has climbed his first 9A+, Papichulo in Oliana. He's done 10 9As, but this is his first 9A+. Jonathan Floor has made the second ascent of Malleus Maleficarum, a 9A+, that was bolted by Danny Andrada. He also climbed El Subnormal del Antihidral, a 9A. Jonathan Segrist has climbed Direct Open Your Mind, a 9A in Santilinea. He switched up his style of climbing from more endurance to shorter, more bouldery routes, having climbed Selezional last week. Meiko Take has climbed the 8C+/9A Aravella. She's been spending time in Oliana and Margalef, ticking off some hard climbs. This is only the second repeat of the route, after a hold broke 2 years ago.
According to 8A.nu, Aravella was the most done 9A in the world until that hold broke.
Because it officially got downgraded to that 8C+/9A.
Well, this is the thing, I got a bit confused because the hold broke and made it harder, but then it's like 8C+9A now. So I'm a bit confused. So if someone knows more than me, which I'm sure there are many people who do, let us know in the comments down below. Right, T, forget this rope stuff. I'm done with it, I'm bored with it. Let's do some bouldering. Zach Wilson has climbed Sound of Violence, an 8C boulder in Joe's Valley, as reported by 8A.nu. He's been battling injuries and knee surgeries, and has only recently started climbing again. The climb tested his recently repaired shoulder and knee. It'll be exciting to see what he can do as his confidence improves. That boulder is particularly impressive because he's had knee surgery, shoulder surgery, and the boulder featured a drop knee and then a big shoulder catch into a Gaston. So he basically did everything possible to test out his new bionic body.
Yes, I feel you admire him because of the shoulder injury, but it gives you hope because, you can do an 8C. There's no excuses. He should be your spirit animal.
Exactly, apart from talent, it should be super easy. But look, discussing talent, let's move on to the most talented people in the world, which is the 9B counter. So there are no 9Bs this week, we had some last week, but let's big up Greg for a second here. His website is on screen right now. I've been in contact with Greg quite a lot. We've had phone conversations. We always talk about this mystical algorithm builder people.
Yes.
Right? He's another person, and I believe in Greg, who thinks he's nailed it. He's trying to pull an algorithm together that will search the web and find 9Bs and add them to this spreadsheet.
Oh, right. So they will be on the 9B counter before maybe even the news comes out.
Well, I hope so. This could be the future, but do check out, well, actually, I don't know if you can check out Greg's website, but you can see it on screen anyway. It looks cool, work in process. Thank you, Greg. And that's it. Shop stuff now, and let's chat about a brand new climbing shoe.
The Mantra from La Sportiva. This is such an exciting shoe because we've actually done already a gear show about it, like introducing it.
Have we? When? What was it?
You interviewed Pietro about it.
Oh, yeah, on the table. Yes. Yes, it was exciting.
Yes.
So no edge bouldering shoe.
No edge bouldering shoe. It was a concept like in the 90s. I don't think it really went anywhere back then because it was like so ahead of its time.
Yeah.
Like ultra light, no edge bouldering shoe. Links down below to the gear show and also to the shoe that we have now in the EpicTV shop.
Yeah, I kind of want one of those.
It's the lightest bouldering shoe, something like that.
Yeah.
It's like ultra light and like super flexible.
In my head, no edge is only for sport. And I know that's wrong, but in my head, that's what no edge is for because you're climbing long routes, you don't want to be as precise. The idea of putting it into a bouldering shoe is exciting.
And it's the slip-on.
La Sportiva, if you're listening, crack it over. Right, what are we doing next?
Well, we hinted about it at the beginning of the show. We have a trailer, very special trailer. We have the world exclusive.
Let's hang on a sec. Let's just hype this up a bit. Ladies and gentlemen, coming at you from Sheffield in the UK, God's own rock. It's time to get involved in our greatest Gritstone film ever produced.
Friends of the Grit is a project I came up with a while ago. I'm really interested in climbing ethics and in how climbing culture actually came to exist. And if we're talking about trad climbing and about ethics, the first thing that comes in mind is, for me, England. The Peak District and the Gritstone climbing. So yeah, I just came on my own and I wanted to make friends. That's why we came up with this Friends of the Grit project.
Well, I can get to the ledge.
Yeah.
I love Gritstone bouldering films.
I love Siebe.
You do love Siebe, don't you? Yes.
He's the man, you know, El Vikingo, like,
Yeah.
has got it going. No, it's such a good movie. It's coming out soon.
Look, Tit, you've climbed on Gritstone. We went before Christmas. It was your first time on the rock. Do you now agree with me that it's the best rock in the world?
No, but I feel the movie does.
It has some classics in it. Parthian Shot gets ticked. Gaia gets ticked, which is my dream E8. I absolutely love to do that.
Aren't we spoiling it?
I don't care. I want the people to get psyched on this. This has got the best routes, the best people. John Dunn, Pete Whitaker. Who else?
Jim Pope. On the rope.
Sam Whitaker. Ben Heeson. Franco Cookson. I'm being fed this information. But look, we got the stars of the British climbing scene, the best rock in the world. I can't wait to watch that movie.
I guess
And it's coming out a week on Thursday. There we go. Right, comment of the week. So, we haven't done a discussion point.
what shall we talk about? Terrifying trad routes, because that was all the news basically.
Yeah, it is. And you know what I found interesting this week is that E11 25-meter fall thing, because I'm thinking Rhapsody. Okay, because that has got an enormous, I don't know if it's 25 meters, but have you ever seen where Dave MacLeod and everyone's the final move is onto a slopery thing?
I think I saw the video of James.
Yeah.
That he does take a big whipper.
Yeah, it's enormous. I wonder why that's E12 and Lexicon's E11. It must be to do with the hardness of the climbing, like how difficult the actual moves are.
Yeah, but then why isn't it a death fall on Rhapsody? Because the gear is better.
Again, it's massively overhanging, and I didn't realise it until I went to visit that crag. Because when you see it on videos, it's hard. You know what it's like when you're filming. Sometimes it's difficult to get the perspective of how steep it is. Mm-hmm. That thing is enormously overhanging. So if you bin it off the top, you fall a long way, but onto good gear, it's just miles. But what's interesting is trad isn't really about the deathy thing. Because let's say something like Indian Face, okay? That's E9. Notoriously a death route. If you fall off it, the gear's going to explode. Right. You're going to explode. It's not going to be a good experience. And yet it's only E9 because the climbing is easier. So that's how it's worked out. It's not always just about that death plummet.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like on that extreme level, if you have to start rating things with R or X, I feel it's a bit too much.
Would you prefer to take on an easy climb with no gear or a hard climb with bomber gear?
I'd prefer to go to Margalef and clip some bolts.
Okay,
Just
let's
gonna
imagine
keep-
someone.
That's my stand. No, that's my stand.
That's it.
You would prefer a harder physical move, but safe?
I don't know. Because
Gear?
I quite like that feeling. You know how much I hate falling off a sport route?
Yeah.
And how scared I am, and it's a bit pathetic.
No,
It is.
it's normal.
It's a bit pathetic. It really is. But with the trad climb, that feeling when you run out, you're out there. I love it. I love
right.
that feeling. It's
Okay.
like, I don't know, it's a buzz.
You're British. It's probably like, it's in the blood over there.
Yeah, built into our climbing DNA, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, let's look at comment of the week now. And we've got a wonderful song from Lynn. Take it away.
Comment of the week.
Very good. Beautiful.
Nice one, Lynn.
Very beautiful. Have you got your comment of the week?
Yes, I'm scrabbling together. Yes, my comment of the week is from Bia, and she says, I need a Taylor Swift song for comment of the week. I know you do. I need it too. I'm working on that relationship with Taylor. She might send one in the future.
Right,
When
how-
I will actually talk to her.
How are you working on this relationship with Tay-Tay?
You know, I keep posting reels with her songs.
Right.
So maybe one day she'll start climbing. This is actually what I think might happen, and hopefully will. Hopefully, yeah, one day she'll see maybe an EpicTV video with a Taylor Swift song, and she'll be like, I'll try climbing. I want to be on comment of the week, and, you know, she'll get into the whole climbing scene.
You know how Taylor can do no wrong in your eyes?
Yeah,
What happens if she turns up and she's better than you?
that's okay. She's taller.
Would that be okay?
Yeah, she's taller.
This is taller. Oh, that's controversy right there. Right there, T. Right, my comment of the week, just lost it, is from, Medisk. And he says, new, with 3 O's. Keep the send in songs and / or you guys singing. One single song is boring. Now, this is because, you remember last week we discussed about having that beautiful classic rendition as the comment of the week song?
Yes. Yes.
Takes the fun
Should
out
we-
of it, doesn't it, if we just did that, though?
I know, but it's quite good.
It's
I
quite
like
good.
I like this one from Lynn, and there was the heavy hard rock song as well. I don't know what that genre of music is called.
Screaming. But what I like about different songs is when we open up the emails, it's always quite exciting to see the comment of the week
True.
song. But you guys have got to join in. Send us DMs on Instagram, drop us an email to climb@epictv.com and send us your comment of the week songs, please. We love to receive them. And while you're about it, make sure you subscribe to all of the Epic TV channels, because otherwise you'll miss this amazing content. Right, T, that's it. We're done.
That's it. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Bye.